What's up, everybody? Hey, it is Mike Whitmer with the Expansion Real Estate Group coming at you on a Monday. Throwing a little wrench in the system this time, but I hope you guys had a great weekend and are heading into a new week. Today in this video, I'm going to do two things. One, like we always do, I'm going to go over the market stats, kind of tell you where we've been, where we're heading. And then two, I'm going to spend a little bit of time at the end of the video talking about a major class action lawsuit that was settled this month that could have it's going to have a tremendous effect on the real estate industry as a whole. So let's jump into it so this doesn't run so long here today. So jumping into our charts like we always do, we are looking at our Cromford Index over the history of the last 22 years, and you will see our downtrend continued. We started the month at 143.7 and ended it way down here at 120.8. So a 23-point drop in the Cromford Index, which is the largest drop since July of 2022, so about 15 months ago. Pretty substantial drop in that. And let's see what caused that. So looking here, today we're at 113.2, which means we've dropped about another 7 points just since the beginning of the month, which keeps us about on the same pace, about a 21 to 23 point drop by the end of this month. If that happens, this number could be right around 100, which, as you guys know from now, or from all these videos, is that 100 is the actual even point. It's not advantageous to sellers or to buyers. So we are trending to be in a balanced market here in the next 30 to 60 days. Something to watch out for. Our supply index has been going up like crazy. Remember last month we had went up 15% month over month in listings. We started off this month at 11,185 active single family home listings, and today we have 12,557, so a 12% increase month over month. So this supply index on the Cromford is definitely going up quickly. We were at 54.2 last month, and you can see here 61.8. So more opportunities for buyers and more listings in the market, coupled with lower demand. Demand last month was at 73.9, and today here we're at 70. It's kind of we're kind of at a weird spot. I'll be interested to see what happens to demand on our next video, because we did peak, interest rates peaked about 7.8% this month, but just last week, I guess 10 days or so, it dropped about a quarter point down to about 7.5, which is the largest single week drop since we've had last year as well. So we know that these interest rates really trigger the activity with the buyers. So that's going on. And then if we take a look at our daily Cromford Market Index, you guys can see it's just continuing just a not free fall, but it's coming down pretty darn quickly. But I want to show you something. I talk about all the time here that this Cromford Market Index is a leading indicator, right? So that means it's availability, it's demand, it's showings, all these things go into this number. But it's not prices. Remember, I've always said prices are a lagging indicator, and prices follow 3 to 6 months after this number here. Watch this. This is going to show it just perfectly. So here is the past 6 months. On one side, we have the Cromford Index, and on the other side, we have our average monthly price per square foot sales price. Do you notice those two things are doing totally opposite things? The Cromford's dropping, but prices are going up. So what we should watch for is, November and December. If I had to guess, I would guess that this will start to come down. Can't guarantee that, but generally the Cromford Index is about 3 to 6 months ahead of time. And again, these two things are going in the exact opposite way. So something to keep an eye on there. Overall, the market it's pretty slow. Right? There's more listings in the market, there's less demand, so there's just not that much activity. So something we'll keep an eye on here and just kind of see where we go. Traditionally year over year, when we get to Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, it's slow anyway. So the next 60 days could be a little bit slow in the market, but we'll keep an eye on it. Okay, I'm going to stop right there as far as our charts go, and I'm going to stop this right here. I want to talk about something else. So my job here is to keep you guys informed on the real estate market. That's what I want to do here. Good, bad, ugly, it doesn't matter. It's my job to tell you what's going on. And you may have seen it on the news the last couple weeks. It's been pretty prevalent on the news, but there's been a class action lawsuit that started, I think, back in 2019, if I'm correct, where NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, it was Remax, it was Anywhere Realty, Keller Williams. All these major brokerages were involved in this class action lawsuit regarding commissions. So, and specifically seller commissions, and the seller being required, that's the key word there, required to pay the buyer's agent's commission. So many of you on here have bought and sold homes with me, and since I've been doing this for 24 years, and it's always been the same. The seller has always, if you list your home on the MLS, the seller has been required to offer compensation to a realtor to bring them a buyer. And what this lawsuit is saying is now that by requiring that seller to do that is, what's the right word? Not illegal, but just it's not right, and they're going to change that. So, and they've already changed it honestly. So, in our MLS now, you do not, as a seller, to be listed on the MLS, you do not have to. You're not required to offer a buyer's commission. It's negotiable, right? But it's not required. That's a key difference here. So, it's gonna. I don't know. I'm torn on it. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. It's just going to be more, I guess, more disclosure, more upfront communication. One good thing is that Arizona has been ahead of the curve. I think since 2017 or 18, we've been breaking down our commissions in the listing agreement. So if, let's say by example, there's a 5% commission in a listing, the line below that tells the seller how much of that 5% we're going to offer to the buyer. So most realtors, like myself, split that down the middle. If I'm getting 5%, I'm going to take 2.5 for myself and 2.5 to whoever brings us a buyer in that situation. That's kind of how it's went forever. But there's some places around the country where that number is not disclosed, and they could take 4, 5, 6, 7, doesn't matter what percentage it is, and they didn't have to disclose how much they were offering for a co-broke. And that's going to change too. So around the country. But here's the major effect on things. It's going to affect the buyers more than anything. Again, I've sold so many of you your first home. And you remember, just think about when you bought your first home. You had to save up for a down payment. You had to save up for closing costs. People struggle. There was no down payments, right? Any way we could get you into a home with the littlest money out of pocket helped you. It made affordability, it made home ownership easier because the seller had agreed to pay your buyer's agent's commission. So now, if that does, again, we don't know exactly what's going to happen or how it's going to shake out, but there will definitely be some cases where if the seller is not willing to pay a commission to the buyer's agent, there will start to be buyer's contracts and buyer's commissions paid at closing, which is going to require more money to get into a home, making home ownership more difficult. So it's going to be an interesting thing to see how it all plays out. Again, this just happened a few weeks ago, so nothing has really happened yet besides them not requiring a co-broke anymore in the MLS. And then the next things going to happen, especially with our brokerage at Keller Williams, we're going to start to require a buyer's contract when you purchase a house. Now, that doesn't mean that if the seller offers the commission to the buyer's agent, you have to pay. So, and we can negotiate that in closing costs. There's all sorts of things we can do on the buyer side, and on the seller side. It'll be important for you and your agent to sit down and talk that through. Does it make the most sense to offer a commission, or does it not? Who's the buyer's agent, right? It's all going to become negotiable. Is that buyer's agent going to do a good job? Is that buyer's agent going to be diligent to their client and make sure the transaction goes smooth? All those things are going to matter. So again, my job, keep you guys informed. So I'm sure by next month when I do this video, there'll be more information on it, but I just wanted to get that out there so you guys know something's going on in the real estate industry and we're going to figure it out. All right. It is November. We're coming up on Thanksgiving. Hope you guys all have an amazing Thanksgiving. Take some time, be with your family, enjoy the people in your life, and then we'll see you next month. Thanks.